Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds, and I'm hanging out with these nerds.
At the Nerdarch.
Nerdarch is Ted.
And we're doing it live, our weekly Quests and Adventures Q&A. We're up to number 42.
Good number.
Rocking these things out. Man, we've done so many live things now. We're like closing in. We're actually, no, we got to be way over 200 at this point.
Yeah, between the live chats and the Quests and Adventures and live plays.
Yeah.
It's up there.
So we should just retire. We're
I
at.
thought we were at like 110 for the weekly. Or the weekday.
We're at like 120.
Okay, well, then that's not 200. 120 and 42 is.
Ah, yes, but gameplays.
Oh,
live
yeah.
gameplays, man.
We've done a lot of those.
We've done at least 2 dozen.
Oh, yeah, that's been a lot. The monthly fan games, the Scarlet Sisterhood.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't even counting Scarlet Sisterhood. So, yeah, we're way over 200.
I've done 200.
And if he hasn't done it on the side, he feels like he's done over 200.
Yeah, we're out there. We're talking. We're doing the thing.
So thanks for hanging out with us today. We got a few things to talk about. So we'll have to, as we've been doing recently, pad this out with some questions from you guys.
Yeah, we're always into the questions. Hey, Comic Book University, what do you think of that Inhumans, man? I saw you did a live thing about it earlier. I didn't have time to check it out though, but I did check out some Inhumans. The boy wasn't like into it, and I was like, "There's a giant bulldog that teleports," and then he was like totally sold.
I was otherwise engaged last night with other Nerdarchy work. I did not have a chance to check that out.
You were doing the D&D. You were picking on mini terrain, is what I understand.
was. The dice did not like him last night.
Yeah, like the first combat, he almost died.
I heard he RP'd napping a lot.
Well, there was actually a lot of RP in the game, and it was really fun. It did actually take, because of that, it actually took longer to get through the material than what was originally planned.
But that's all right. You guys it looked like you guys had a good session.
We had a blast. Jake from Mini Terrain, he, despite spending the 2 big combats of the night on the ground, he says he had a blast. He's looking forward to another session if it happens. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. This was my first experience in actually running prepared material. So that was interesting.
I think we have a couple Canadians in the chat. See, Uncle Peter, I think he's from Toronto, but I could be wrong. And then we have Comic Book University, who's infiltrating Canada. Canada. So what do we got to do today? We have a big announcement. We have to pick our person.
The 40K winner. We've got the name and a couple backups ready to go.
Oh, and then we get to decide. Well, they get to decide.
They get to decide and tell us how the game's going to go.
Yeah.
Whether they're running, whether they can run for us.
Okay.
They get to pick one of the 3 of us, and we will run a game for them and a group of their friends. I believe it was up to 4 friends. They can run they can play in a game where one of us runs and we're all in the game, or they can be a player in the game and we pad it out with our other fans.
Excellent.
So 4 options.
You choose.
So I will contact the winner after we are done recording for the day. Send that out to
Comic Book University. I'm staking the country out, the whole country. It's a big place to stake out.
I will contact you, give you the details of all the options, and we'll see what happens.
So we only got like 17 people watching, guys. Why don't you guys hit some sharing and some likes and stuff, so you get more people in here. So when we make the announcement, man, hopefully the person that won will actually hear it and be waiting for the email with anticipation. So how was running Tales from the Bloody Bucket, man?
It was a lot of fun. It was definitely a different mindset in regards to what I normally do. It was incredible to actually have the prepared material that I could reference and just be like, I'm going to read this cool description here, or I'm going to do this, and not have to think on the fly that I normally do. So it was a mixture of both. I had to change some things that were there just for flow and just to keep the game moving in a way that made sense to me. I gave the players the freedom of choice in regards to all the different options that were.
You can pick any option on one of these cards that I have here right now.
Well, I mean, the cards were written with that in mind. So when you leave the town, it's not just you walk this way. It's here's areas to explore. Should you decide to go off track from where the story is going, you can go explore this. You can go explore that. They're literally the first potential combat for the night was there's some drunk fishermen, and if the party actually decides to attack them, which thankfully the party didn't do, it actually then sends town's guard after them, and if they defeat them, more town's guard can show up to try and deal with the hoodlums. So thankfully that didn't happen, because that would have been 3 extra combats on the night. When they got into the dungeon, they were very explore heavy, and there was an NPC that was a bit of a double agent, and he was kind of trying to direct them towards a specific locale. And once they got to that specific location, they were like, all right, I'm beelining for the mission. And they just left everything else to the wayside. But prior to that, they're like, I'm going to explore everything. I'm like, we're going to be here till 1 a.m.
Because it sounds like there's a lot of options in case somebody wants to do multiple.
There was literally 6 or 7 combats that were just completely ignored to get to the end. And because of that, it actually left me with an option, and it was closing on 11:30 when we actually got to the final battle, where I'm like, I could go call all of these other combats into this final combat. And if you guys actually watched the video, it was not going well for the players. I absolutely, using the material that was there, I could have killed them all without a problem.
You should have totally obliterated them and annihilated them.
They already gave you the gun. Why didn't you shoot it?
Yeah. 5 adventures enter, none leave.
So, and that's the other thing. I initially, like the thing says it's prepared for 4 players at level 4, and because of one thing or another, we actually wound up with 5, and it was still a near thing of TPK on just the lone monster at the end.
What was the party composition?
We had a rogue, which was a arcane trickster. We had a ranger, who was a beastmaster. We had a trickery domain cleric. We had a college of valor bard, and we had a champion fighter.
I mean, there was no blaster though.
Right.
So that was probably the thing. There was no one to drop that need a fireball. Well, you're level 4, so they didn't have fireball.
No fireballs.
And no combat medic or anything.
No flaming sphere.
Well, the cleric was actually using some of the
trickery cleric. See,
yeah,
that's right.
There was a lot of trickery going on.
Yeah, we had some stuff going, but when the bard's doing thunderclap, there's no further stealth that's going to really make up for that.
Well, distraction. It was a distraction. It's not stealth. It's distraction.
I can imagine a trickery cleric. You're like a rain cloud on my day here.
and
clapping everywhere.
We got down to the final thing, and we're down to 24 hit points on the big bad for the night. But at this point in time, 2 of the players are dropped. One of the players decides, like, all right, he's going to run.
He's like, screw this, I'm out of here.
The bard's down to 13 hit points, and the fighter, who's got a decent armor class, is still down to 30 hit points. And it's like, okay, just fight. Just attack the guy. And the bard's the only one swinging. The fighter's trying to position himself and taking the dodge action.
He's getting fancy.
I'm like, all right, this is really slowing things down here. Just kill the thing already.
He's like, oh no, we got to make this last.
But
entertain me, Ted. Entertain me.
But Asa did something really cool. He made a half-orc ranger, and he took, as I said, he was a beast companion or beastmaster, but his beast companion was a wolf, but he reflavored it to be a young bear. So I thought that was a cool option, and there was a lot of interplay amongst the party with the Kobold Arcane Trickster using his mage hand to steal treats from the half-orc, and pickpocket the NPC that was there, and it was a lot of fun. I greatly enjoyed it.
I'll leave the young bear comments alone. Keep it family friendly here. Gallifrey, thanks for retweeting that out. Much appreciated. It's good to see everybody hanging out in the chat. So we also, this past week, we did our session 0 of Marvel Superheroes Season 2 for the phase rip system. I think we might, I'm not sure if this Monday we're going to actually play, if we're going to do more of the session 0 and then play, or if we're just going to do session 0.
Session 0 part 2.
Part 2. So we'll see how that shakes out. That looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. The Saver Dice game is still going strong. We had a great session Wednesday night. The party almost died from some Mind Flayer creature. Nice. Definitely, I was down to 2 hit points. I think Cody was down to a hit point.
Wow.
Croak got dropped. And so it was a blast.
Your Star Wars companions pulled it out though.
Well, we all worked together and made it happen. Jogo did his thing, man. He was up there trying to grapple the Mind Flayer. Apparently, that's a bad idea, by the way. At one point, he was stunned and feared. Feared by one of his companions and stunned by the Mind Flayer.
I want to run, but I can't.
Yeah. Doug made the comment, Ted's going to be like, heck with this Griffin gaff. I'm going to run published stuff now. Raven, question, will you be starting a live Starfinder game? We don't have plans for one in the immediate future, but anything's possible. So I would definitely like to check it out and play some Starfinder, but we do not have one on the horizon yet. But, like I said, anything can happen. We've got like all kinds of plates spinning. You guys don't even know. We don't even know. These guys don't know. I don't know. There's stuff always happening though. We are always looking to figure out cool stuff to do to entertain you guys and spread the Nerdarchy love throughout the multiverse.
So we launched another Nerdarchy Network video recently.
We did last night. Jen from Pixelscapes, she put up the zombie, so you guys can go check that out and watch her draw a cool, awesome, colorful, techno-colored zombie.
Yeah, and if you're into her artwork, please go check out her channel as well. She needs subscribers.
Yeah,
everybody needs subscribers.
Everybody needs subscribers. There in the description you will find plenty of links to go check out Jen's stuff. As always, when we have people on, we try and link to them and stuff. And also we've also had 3 videos now from Comic Book University, so that's pretty awesome as well. And we're going to look to other creators that are maybe a little bit smaller, but they're doing cool stuff. They have good production value, and if we like what they're doing and it's nerdy, and we think you guys would enjoy it, we're going to try and bring them on and spread the word. What's on your list, Ted?
So we talked about the RPG Crate game. And if you are looking to sign up for that, you can use Nerdarchy RPG Crate as a promo code and get 10% off your first order. We got Nigel out at Geek Girl Con.
So if you happen to be in Seattle, Washington area, I don't know which days he's going to be there. So it's like Friday, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So if you do happen to get out there, or you're somehow getting a notification and watch this on your phone, and you're there, or whatever, look for Nubs, look for Nigel. I would say tackle him, but he's kind of a big guy. Good luck with that. Jump on his back.
We got Nate running, getting ready to start his games.
Yeah, I'm going to be starting the Hold the Moradines, which is like the classic kind of 5e D&D. None of the UAs or anything like that, just like Player's Handbook and some of the other published books. And that's going to be starting on October 7th. I still haven't decided. It depends on how I can get everything together, whether I'm doing it live or whether I'm going to record it and then publish it later. So if you don't see it on October 7th, it's because I decided to not publish it that day.
Gallifrey, you can email us, especially if you actually know them and you're talking to them and it's something they're interested in. We're not trying to foist ourselves on people that aren't interested, that's for sure. But we do appreciate recommendations, so that's awesome. Josh asked a question: would you consider running any DM's Guild adventures made by Nerdarchy fans? Possibly. We don't do a ton of stuff with published stuff, but there are circumstances that might call for that.
Just reach out to us via email, nerdarchy@gmail.com, and we can discuss.
Yes, absolutely. So there is always those possibilities. This week, today, Saturday, this weekend, our new Star Wars game is going up. So our live plays, in-person live plays that we record. The part 1 went up today. Part 2 will go up tomorrow.
It's the game is called The Prequels Reimagined. Forget about everything you know. That's the DM's tagline on this.
Yeah. That was a little long to put in the title, but forget about what you know. So you'll have to listen. I think Mike says it, so it's good enough.
Did they get rid of midichlorians? That's what I want to know.
They scrubbed them right out.
I don't believe that word has been used in any of the Star Wars games I've played in.
They've replaced it with Jedi Jesus.
Oh, all right. I thought you were going to say Jedi juice, like something like muscle milk.
Monster, like a monster.
Yeah, a monster.
Yeah.
Just slam 3 monsters. So let's move this Star Destroyer.
So we actually had like 2 new players join the table, so that was cool. Mike has been at our table as a player in the past. He's very knowledgeable when it comes to Star Wars and like owns all the Star Wars stuff, just all of it, everywhere.
Yes.
And he's a huge Star Wars nerd.
He actually, I might think I've got a decent amount of Star Wars knowledge, but he puts my knowledge to shame. Like he's like, you don't know squat in comparison to me.
Yeah, it's a little bit different style game than we usually run. It's like very NPC heavy, and like there's a lot of cool characters and Star Wars, and he likes using them. So we'll see how you guys like that. We're feeling it out, but yeah, I'm having fun with the game. I like it.
Yeah, it's a great game.
So is it more like your cast of characters, and some of them are going to be NPCs?
Yeah, it's definitely more like that.
Well, we're interacting with the characters that have been in the prequels.
Okay.
And he's changing a lot of the stories. So I don't want to give anything away, but people are out there. We're
the lackeys.
We're the lackeys.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, you're just starting out.
Peons, yeah. So yeah, we're having fun with that. There's a Whippet, there's an Ewok, there's I forget what I'm called. One of the guys with forums. I don't remember.
Right. Yeah. I made the character for him, and I don't remember.
and I don't know.
And a droid.
Yep.
Yeah. And then
what's Ed playing?
I don't even remember.
It's been a few weeks, guys.
I didn't even remember Ed's name until you said it, to be honest with you. We've only gamed with him once so far, so in my defense. And it was a little bit ago. And
you do game with a lot of people every week.
Yeah. I do game with a lot of people, and late 80s, early 90s were kind of rough. That's my blanket defense to anything. And so I don't think we have any other gaming going on this weekend. This is a game-free weekend.
I actually had a hangout with Zach scheduled for tomorrow from Blues Light Painting.
Okay.
And he sadly is suffering from water damage in his house, and he had to bail on me.
I thought you were going to say he sadly had something better to do.
So we were going to do some painting and do some board games, but alas, after reschedule.
You're going to do board games over a hangout?
No, he's going to come here.
Oh, okay.
They were going to really hang out.
Oh, yeah. You said hangout.
In 3D.
My mind just went to...
He went to the computer. No, we were going to physically be in the same location, play board games, paint minis, and what have you. But
he's not close.
You see.
That's a little bit of a hike.
It's a bit of a hike.
It's a bit of a hike to hang with you.
especially
Did I say that out loud?
If it's like during traffic times for that area, that's rough.
Acolyte 14 sounds like Dave spent 15 years in the 70s. Sometimes it feels like 50. No, I was born in 75, so it'd be kind of tough. And the 70s only lasted a decade, so some time warp.
So math has not completely failed you.
No, not completely. Math isn't my favor for once. Yeah, so although actually I don't mind when I don't game on the weekend now because I get plenty of gaming during the week.
Yeah, you're pretty packed throughout the week.
I'm now doing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But it's cool because I'm only running one of those games, one of those days.
Well, it's nice to be the player instead of the GM all the time.
Yeah, so yeah, and that's fun. I mean, both of those games. Well, the one game I can't say for sure yet. We haven't played it yet, but I have a lot of confidence in the judge, Professor Bill, that game is going to be a blast. You know, the players are all really psyched and into it, so that's cool. I'm getting to play with some people I haven't gamed with before, so that's also really cool.
Who's in this version or this season?
So we have DeVay, DeVay, Braxon Jackson, EBJ. We got Megan, we have Doug, Professor Bell's the judge, and we got Travis Bowles from WebDM.
Cool.
And it's cool too because I didn't think Doug was going to actually be able to play in this game because I know he worked second shift.
Mm-hmm.
So I initially didn't even invite him. And then I was talking to him. He's like, "Oh, Monday's usually my day off." So I was like, "Oh, I guess you can play." My bad. But you know, we worked it out. We got him in on session 0, and you know, where season 1 we played ourselves and got superpowers, and season 2 we're actually just going to play, you know, superheroes, fictional characters, and we're still like hammering out some of the details. I don't know that we 100% have everything. Like we got the important things. Like we know we all were like at the same event that happened at a museum, and like and from there we're still working on details.
Not when a reactor exploded in Flash.
No, there was no particle
accelerator.
Particle accelerator. No, it was at a museum. So we see. I know one of the characters' name is Darwin. We've got Broadcast. We've got. I'll be playing Mosh Pit. Not sure about the other characters yet, but soon to be revealed, I'm sure.
Yeah, you say museum and you know superheroes, and you know that makes me remember my superhero Jurassic. He was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you know, I don't know that. Not sure if the Marvel superheroes game would have a good way of replicating that.
Was that the professor who could shape change into dinosaurs?
It was indeed.
Physical character.
Oh, Nightlight. Yeah, how could I remember Nightlight?
Was I mean, how could you forget?
Yeah.
How could I remember Nightlight?
How could I remember Nightlight? How could I forget? And you know, Comic University's like, I killed you guys twice each in the first season. Wonder how many times I'll kill you guys this time. We might need to have some of those deaths stick though. Bring them back as villains later or something. Give them a black ring.
Sounds like he's confident there.
I think so.
Accolade 14 question: given the recent reprint of old adventures for 5e, such as Tales from the Yawning Portal, are there any old school modules you would like to see get refitted for 5e?
I think we've fielded this question a number of times.
Maybe it's the same person that asked the question over and over again.
No, I'm sure people are interested in it. Dark Sun, any adventures with Dark Sun, because that means they'd have to have Dark Sun. So you know, kind of like it would be a package deal. So that's my bid.
Oh, nice.
Especially the ones with the halflings with the bioorganic things, the life shaping.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy to just run our own stuff, man. Like cherry pick. It's weird because we buy like the modules. They're all like $50 a piece, you know, $30 on Amazon, and we like use so little.
It's like these 2 pages. I want to use these 2 pages. Although there's a lot of pre-game conversation about using the stacking goblins.
Oh yeah. Are they going to use that technique? We're going to do a battle stack. There's no way we're not going to get through this adventure. They're doomed.
So yeah, at some point in time, I'll have to do that just for S&G.
Yeah. So I think pre-written adventures are cool, but I always come back to the same thing. I just feel like it's more work to read an adventure, customize it, and then use that in my game than it is for me to just run a game.
I had that experience when I ran Croak Hollow, and that's Ryan's adventure that he wrote, and I had read it before, and I read it again, and I'm like,
when I just run my own thing?
This is harder than I imagined. And another thing is it doesn't fit in one slot, that's for sure. For one gaming session, that is for sure. I cut out like half of it just to get through the night at like my normal 4-hour stopping time.
Well, I mean, as I said, with the RPG crate stuff, and when they got to the second layer of the dungeon, there was literally 5 or 6 places that I'm just going to keep walking straight, and there were encounters out there, nothing of value, just things to fight, and it could have gone sideways if I decided to, because they're using Thunderclap, and whatnot. I could have drawn those in. The spider that they fought at the end actually has the ability to control spiders out to a pretty big radius, so he could have actually pulled them in as well. And it would have just.
Ooh, is that a new monster?
There's actually a couple new monsters that are in that. So it's pretty interesting. The one poison that was in the first encounter was actually like it goes into like the 5th edition style death saves, or the 5th edition fatality, where two failed saves can put you down. So the initial bite, if you fail your save, you're paralyzed. Then on your next turn, you make another save. If you fail that one, you're reduced to 0 hit points, and you begin your death save.
That's reminiscent of like the super poisonous spiders that would just be like, bite, you fail your save, you take lots of damage, you're dead.
Yeah. So it was definitely cool, but it was impactful.
Can you buy previous RPG crates?
He does have previous crates up on the website that are available for purchase, but once they're sold out, they're sold out.
Gotcha. So you guys can check
limited
that out.
edition, pretty much.
So Doug asks, staff editor Doug, with many Xanathar previews and UA related to the Feywild and any speculation on the next storyline from D&D. I actually didn't really think about it until you kind of said it. And like, I have been trying to check out the D&D Beyond videos as they come out. Like, I saw one of the cool things is like they're merging Cavalier and Knight features together. And they also came to the conclusion that even though we collectively as a community really dug the concept of Cavalier, one is we don't want it all to be tied to the mount because it just makes sense. And two, like, and this is kind of like the thing that we've kind of like complained about a little bit previously, and that's the use of superiority dice for everything. It's like, can we come up with something new and not just keep recycling the same mechanics? So I don't believe the Cavalier is going to have that. The Knight will not be in there, but some of the cool stuff from the Knight will be added to the Cavalier. And it's like the way they expressed it. It's like, so the Cavalier has this cool things that they can do that are even cooler if they happen to be on a mount. So that'll be fun. I'm waiting for the deluge of small Cavaliers to enter, because medium is a lot easier to deal with.
Halflings on snakes.
Yeah, they surf. That's pretty much how it is. What the saddle is like a sandal that double straps. Like, it straps around the snake and then it straps around their foot, and they
can just like unloop themselves and leap off if they need to.
Yeah. I think that might be how it works. But they do have the Bard and the Druid both have Fey connection. I don't know if any of the other ones will or not. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's in Xanathar's Guide. And part of me is like, there's a little bit of trepidation too. I'm like, are they just going to regurgitate everything I've kind of already seen in the UA, but now it's official? There's a part of me that doesn't like that. Like, I want to be surprised and see new stuff.
Well, I would imagine that I would think most of the Unearthed Arcana stuff is going to have some kind of changes. Even if it becomes official, it's going to have a twist, a change, something based off of the feedback from the community.
I know.
I just do the UAs for fun.
I just want at least something in there that I haven't seen, I guess. There's a part of me that wants that.
Well, I would bank on it not being an archetype.
You're like, well, you know what? That's not entirely true, because they could literally take all that feedback and apply it to a different archetype.
That's true, yeah.
That we haven't seen. I don't know if we're going to see that, but
right.
Yeah, just it could happen.
I would put money that you're going to see something you haven't seen before, because to only regurgitate stuff from the UA, I think people would be upset.
Feel cheap. And Acolyte 14, this one goes out specifically to Nate. Will Nate be running a 5e Dark Sun when the Mystic gets a full release in Xanathar's? It'll be there, right?
I don't know if it'll be there until I see it.
Right, and they might do like they did with the Artificer too, and do the didn't they do that? Do the DM's Guild release?
Yeah, that could be that. We'll like make an more official one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, but I'm itching for Dark Sun. I think that would be a lot of fun.
So Ranger Rory, Chris Perkins stated Lantern would feature in an upcoming campaign. I don't know who Lantern is.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that character either.
Yeah, fill me in. Yeah, maybe I do. I'm just not recognizing the name. Oh yeah, Joshua Berkeley. They already said no. which is why they released it in the DMs Guild. That's what I thought. I just couldn't remember. Yeah, I guess the only problem with that is you can't. I guess they want more playtesting on it, but if it's in the DMs Guild, it's not AL legal. Only very specific things are.
Right.
Okay, so it's officially out, but it's not. It's not canon in the sense.
Yeah, I don't believe
they can
it's
change
AL
stuff
legal,
if they want.
So like the turtle is official, but
and also they're doing like things where you can bribe them to and they'll release official stuff as well.
Really?
Well, yeah. For there's different extra life. There's different extra life, basically tiers or rewards where you donate, and the different designers will create stuff for you. But it's like
charitable giving.
Yeah. But it's like $2,500. Like they're hefty donations, for the most part. But it might be a fee. It might be an archetype. It might be a class.
I can't spend $2,500 and get Dark Sun.
I don't think you can make that happen.
Maybe if everybody chipped in $2,500, we could get sections of it completed.
Briganator 1369. Good game last night, Ted. Never be afraid to kill any of my characters. Character death is one of the favorite parts of role playing.
So, in other words, Mike, you're all for the the TPK that could have easily happened last night. Not concentrating on insect plague, not summoning all the other spiders. Yeah, I kind of took it easy on them.
Ted was being a wussy DM. So
I was not seeking a TPK. That's not why I do this.
I don't seek it. Sometimes the villains do. You could have ran it, and then you could have given RPG Crate some honest feedback and like, this is too rough. Killed them all. It's like, that was the point.
Well, Chris and I did talk about that after the game and a little bit this morning. And he's actually, pleased with the session that I ran. He actually, reached out to me mid-game to in excitement when Jake failed his second save against that spider's poison.
Like,
yes, we're going to
terrible
kill
things
them
are
all.
happening to people.
So it's always nice when the only one with decent healing spells gets reduced to 0 hit points.
So Ranger Roy elaborate. Lantern is a country close to Cholt. Smoke powder, flying ships, cannons all come from Lantern Forgotten Realms.
Flying ships.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I don't even remember about reading any of that. The first time I read about black powder though was the Mystica trilogy. And that's going back way, way, way. That was like Iron Helm. I forget the name of the other ones. It was a really good series, and that was like, I don't think we were even into 3rd edition yet. I think that was still 2nd edition when those books were released.
I just remember flying ships from Mystra. I'm saying that right?
Mystra, yeah.
Like all the flying ships and stuff. I didn't know it was in Forgotten. There was stuff in Forgotten Realms.
Well, maybe they might be pulling it in there, so this way they don't have to leave Forgotten Realms, and they still get to do these other stuff.
Yeah.
So who knows? Dark Sign is going to be a desert in Forgotten Realms.
I don't know. There's a really large chaos storm in the old Thrycreen Empire in Chimes of Discordia, so maybe that could be a little mini Dark Sun.
So Friganator says RPG Crate was in the chat last night. Yeah, actually, when I popped in, I had seen that he was in there as well, which was cool. The chat seemed to be popping.
Yeah, when I'm actually running games, I try to avoid the actual chat. It's too much of a distraction for me.
I absolutely live it up because sometimes they'll say something that's a good idea, and I just incorporate it into the game, and they really dig it when you do that.
Yeah, that is a cool way to do it.
If I'm running a fan game, I can consider that, but I'm running his material. I gotta go with something.
Nah, there's always room to improvise, like adding an exchange drink in. That's why that was one of the things I did. They're like, you should do this. I'm like, I'll absolutely do that. That's a fun idea. So, I don't know. It's just one way to do it. I guess roll call, guys, man. It's like we're halfway through doing the thing. Where are you from? What's going on?
And if you have any questions, after the roll call. Don't mess up the roll call with a whole bunch of questions.
Well, you can ask one. One of you can quick carry up and ask a question. Briganator, that's what I do too. I'm not sure. Maybe he's talking about streaming games and looking at the chat for stuff. But I think it's I think it's a cool way where you can just be like, what was it? There was like a gelatinous cube shot or something. I hope I wrote it down because it was kind of fun.
Well, I mean, incorporated into the game, so it's there, right?
That's true.
No,
You just have to remember which session
and around what time, so you don't have to watch the whole thing again.
Yeah.
Nope. Somebody watch all of our gameplays
and let us know what that was. So we got Acolyte 14 in Boston. Embershave is in Bryant, Arizona. Niagara Falls in the house with Rich. Zach Glazer, Cottonwood, Arizona. Hey, Zach. Lincoln in Sweden. Doug is in Cleveland. Virgilio is in Utah. Ranger Roy is in Missouri. Scratch Paper Games is in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Joshua Brickley in Oregon. Wilder Smith is in New York. Conwood University, Midtown High School, studying with Mr. Parker on a Saturday. Overlord of Midgard, California. Australia, Raven. We got Uncle Peter, Trisgard the Bold's Tower. Nice. I saw a Granite Falls, Washington with Frigginator. We got Joe Fisher, Carney's Point, New Jersey. Nice. Local guy. We got Josh in Arkansas. We've got Florida with Gillifrey. And yeah, well, that makes sense since we played with you in Tampa, or me and Ryan did, which is really cool. Amber Shea making fun of my pronunciation of stuff. I refuse to change. I'm waiting for the English language to conform to me.
Hey, it might come around. It might come around.
One day it could happen.
You could be the new slang.
So who was chiming in from Trisgar the Bold's Tower?
Uncle Peter.
Uncle Peter.
Yeah, which he's actually in Toronto.
Okay. Well, if you ever play in one of my games, that's worth an extra inspiration.
There you go. So this month has been tough for getting together our like in-person real games, like the scheduling, and then the holidays are coming.
October's not going to be any easier. I'm actually camping twice. So one of them's not on a Saturday night, so that's good.
Yeah. So your game went off this month. Did my game go off this month in the very beginning? I think that's what we did.
Yeah.
That's when it gets weird, is like when we have the game in the beginning of the month and then next month we have it at the end. It feels like I missed a month.
Yeah, we actually don't have either your game or my game currently scheduled. We only have the next Star Wars session planned. And that's like, okay, how are we making this work? And like I said, with all the things going on, it's getting tricky.
Maybe we should start a GoFundMe so we can get a TARDIS.
Is that before or after that cool mech from Japan?
Well, you get the U.S. mech now, too. They have a U.S. mech.
Yeah.
But the one in Japan's probably better.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Even if they created it and shipped it over here and tried to sell it, the one in Japan's better.
They were going to have them fight at some point. I think they were trying to get them to fight. And speaking of, I think my son, for their engineering program, they are doing a battle bots. So they're going to build their robots and then they have to fight each other.
Oh, that's
Nice.
great.
They're already talking about chainsaws and flamethrowers. For some reason, I don't think they're going to allow that.
Yeah, well, if they actually get to do that and they're allowed spectators, please let me know.
Yeah, if they do that, maybe we should try and record it and put it up on the channel.
Oh, that would be really cool.
I don't know. Would you guys like to see that? I don't know. Or be like, these robots suck. we'll start riff tracking on them and just ripping them.
Where's the 3,000 RPMs?
Yeah,
And the laser turrets.
Dave, I'm very disappointed in your son. How can you make such a lame robot?
Plastic chainsaws.
So do we want to do the giveaway announcement winner thing?
Oh yeah, we're doing that, aren't we?
And we are. All right. So now, we doing a drum roll or any of that kind of stuff? All right. So 40K giveaway, Gaming with Nerdarchy package, and a copy of Tomb Annihilation. The winner is Roger Walters. Thank you for doing all the Gleam stuff to get entries, and you win. We'll contact you, and failing that, we have 2 alternates. So Matt Moore is backup number 1, and Roderick Ball is backup number 2.
How much time frame do they have from when you contact them?
They're going to get a week.
Right.
1 week, yeah. So Ted will probably be sending that out
This afternoon.
this afternoon today.
Once we gotta finish up this. We got 2 other videos to do, and after that, these guys will skedaddle, and I'll do an email, and yay.
And like all of our contests and everything, it's not associated with YouTube or Patreon or anything like that. It's
Anything.
just us.
It's not even associated with us.
It's just us doing our thing, and that's it.
Oh, can we talk about the other thing? So you guys might notice the website. We've been under construction for a bit now.
Oh, yeah. So we are rolling out a store on the website. We've always had a store. It just wasn't necessarily like this. So this is an improved store with more stuff. And one of the things that was recently added was a whole bunch of 3D printed items from our Arcania workshop. And that can be checked out on the store. It's on the front page. They'll have a whole bunch of different categories and things you can check out.
So go buy stuff and we'll find out if it works or not.
Yeah. Someone did buy something and it did kind of work. So
Yeah, it half worked.
it half worked. We don't want to half work, not work.
You don't want to half
We
work.
don't orcs, we want works. So if you're interested, check out some of the stuff. They've got cool ice elementals, Orcus, and like a whole bunch of terrain pieces. So
Spell templates,
spell templates.
gray or black.
That's a popular item.
Yeah.
Since we already sold one.
Before the store was live.
Yeah, but I was like, hey, how did this sale get through? What's going on here?
Oh, turn this thing off here.
Yeah.
There's a switch somewhere.
Yeah.
One of our highly trained chimpanzees that was working in the back got out. It was a little bit out of control.
I think you're giving too much credit. I don't think our chimpanzees are highly trained.
Oh.
Cattle prod trained.
Yeah, they're definitely chimpanzees though.
Yeah, so basically, if you have been trying to purchase anything in the past week, either the payment ability was down or the stuff was not on the website. So
Yeah, off. It was off. It wasn't down. Down implies broken.
oh yeah, it wasn't broken. I turned the off switch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was
Weren't ready
disabled and now it's enabled again.
This battle station is fully
Yes,
operational now.
exactly.
So
We'll be adding new stuff from time to time, and we'll make an announcement, most likely on Saturdays when that happens.
You know, we're actually in talks with Easy Roller Dice and Nord Games and some other folks as well. So we're looking to do some really cool, fun things over there. And basically, we gave the writers a week off, and while Nate was working on the site, breaking it and fixing it and re-breaking it and fixing it again. That's what owning a website generally looks like.
90% of that breakage, you could find the articles still. You just had to look for them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be changing up also how the articles look. Doug's talking with me, and I like some of his ideas. So we're going to staff writer Doug, editor.
Staff editor, writer.
State editor, writer.
Staff everything.
Slash
I think we need to give him like
super cool, awesome Doug.
some cool title.
Can we just call him Captain Doug?
I don't know. Let's ask him in the chat what they'd like to call him and what he would like to be called.
No, I think we should go out to the patrons and find out what they think his title should be.
Oh man,
We'll
I don't know, patrons.
We'll take the best suggestions and then we'll do a poll.
Admiral Underpants it is.
Letting someone a naming thing loose on the internet might be dangerous.
Well, it's not loose on the internet. It's too
It's confined.
it's confined to those awesome people that decide to support us.
Sometimes a good joke name is worth $1 subscription to a Patreon account.
Well, then now's your chance. Sometime next week, I will put this up. Go support us on Patreon, and you can get in on this poll.
So Doug is putting in Nerdarch is Doug. So,
oh,
boring.
well, I
Yes.
mean, there's always that.
Yes. I mean, I don't know.
That's not descriptive enough.
You look like you had a thought, bro.
No, I was just reading the chat.
Holding his breath in anticipation.
Are there any questions that we're just not seeing?
No.
Nah,
They don't want our feedback today. We've answered all the questions.
we've
Doug.
answered them all. We can retire from the internet.
I like Nerdarchy Doug. It has a certain, I don't even know what.
But he's like, he knows it sounds better than Admiral Underpants.
Yes, that's for sure.
Well, Admiral Underpants Doug just doesn't seem to
Flow.
work. Yeah.
Accolade 14. You can't just throw the Nerdarchist title in front of your name. It must be earned. Actually, you guys are all Nerdarchists, whether you know it or not. We just consider anyone in the Nerdarchy community a Nerdarchist.
Nerdarchy's Nubs has been Nerdarchy's Nubs for years.
Years.
He's like, oh, I'm laying claim to this title, and that's how it works. And
yeah, we've referred to the base before as Nerdarchist, so
oh, absolutely.
all good.
No, yeah, I'm not criticizing, not saying anything, against Nubs. Just
see, we put you guys right up here with us. We're all on the same level.
Except this guy, he's a Nerdarch.
We're going to mention that. We're going to mention that, Ted.
Ted always mentions the things we're not going to mention. That's his thing.
That's
Uncle
true.
Peter, how do I tell my friend who DMs for us to hold more D&D sessions? You can be like, friend who runs for us, can you just please run some more D&D sessions?
We really like the beautiful way.
Are we doing once a month? Can we do every other week? Or are you doing every other week? Can we play weekly?
Is he bribable?
Yeah.
I had a DM who was bribable once.
Only
sometimes that's good.
Well,
I think every DM's bribable. It's just you have to find out what the price is. Everyone's got a price.
It's just to make sure it's not the iron price.
All right. Well, this DM was easily bribable.
Like pizza and food and stuff.
Food, gaming books.
No, all right then.
Yeah. Well, what more do you need? See you, Godfrey. Have a great day.
Of course, he's already signing off. He would not have seen the visual wave off.
That's true. Comic Book University, Nerdarchy has a Patreon poll for what character build you want to see next. Everyone vote for Jesus Patron Warlock. So we have some propaganda getting put out by Comic Book University.
Yeah, it wasn't a poll. I kind of asked people, what they wanted to see. Character archetypes are a hot button topic, and I figured if you guys have some suggestions, then we could possibly field those in some of our future Patreon awards.
Accolade 14. DM never pays for pizza or beer. Although we rarely have beer at our table. Occasionally we have alcohol.
I think I brought the most alcohol in the past 2 years or whatever.
I can say I've never paid for a beer in my life.
Yeah, I guess you can.
You drank them before, though?
No.
Beer?
I've never had beer.
What do you drink, like wine coolers when you drink?
I've had, years and years ago, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sandwich maker, Doug. That was put out by Doug.
No. I'm like, I don't see how that correlates.
But I think if anyone has earned the Nerdarchist title outside of the people on the screen, it's Nerdarchist at Doug Vahovic. But no, Doug is awesome. He does a lot for us. He helps. He's been doing an amazing job with the website.
He's like a ninja on Twitter.
He's like a ninja on Twitter. Ty had been great on the website as well. But time constraints kind of took over, so he didn't have as much time to dedicate to it. Megan and Professor Bell, Joshua, Nigel, all of those guys, Asa, and I'm probably forgetting people. Mike Gould. We've had so many people write on the website and contribute. You guys are awesome. You guys are all awesome, and we're all Nerdarchists. We're all in it together.
Scott and former Scott.
I don't know how to say this person's name. Sorry.
There's too many vowels.
Joao?
I can't see that.
I don't know. But anyway, I was going to read it, but no. So, first time DM, do you guys think it would be better to get my players to make their characters and backgrounds and build the world after, or the other way around?
You can do either, but what I would recommend is you guys get together and come up with your concept for your ideas and your characters, and maybe even you can pitch some world ideas, and just leave them some room to contribute to the world, so it's not all you. And this does several things. One, it'll get the players to buy into your world more if they're interested in doing that, so they'll make them a little bit more vested. And two, it actually makes less work for you, so you can kind of you can let them share in the work and the joys of building the world together.
But if you're new, start small, have fun with it, and be willing to make some changes.
Yeah, for my Holding the Mordain campaign, we had a session 0. It was lively and a few hours long. And one of the things that came up out of that was they said, we're going to have an email group. We're just going to chit-chat back and forth about how we know each other and backgrounds afterwards. And I've gotten so much background story and so much interaction from that, and the game hasn't even started yet. I'm like, I've got like 10 levels of quests and adventures planned out.
Just based on their stuff.
Well, no, beforehand.
Oh.
So now I'm like, what am I going to change? And I might just like toss a whole bunch of it to kind of like go with the flow of what they've got going on.
So, Doug, never had a beer. Ted is designated driver for late night convention meetups. Yeah, he is.
Excellent.
The only problem is Ted gets kind of bitchy after a certain time, and he doesn't get to sleep or he
You've
doesn't
heard
get
of
food.
You've heard of the witching hour. Well,
Ted is a one-man Snickers commercial. I think even he will attest to that.
Yeah, guilty as charged. But absolutely, if we're hanging out, yeah.
So do you guys want to know where the sandwich maker thing came from?
Absolutely, that sounds like a thing.
So I chat with Doug often, and one of the things that's come up in those conversations is the idea of a Nerdarchy gaming cafe, where there's food served, there's gaming going on. It's kind of a game store, maybe studio space, a physical location for Nerdarchy that we could like run a store out of, plus all of our normal Nerdarchy stuff, a little nerd mecca.
That sounds like a blast.
Question is, would you guys travel to the Nerdarchy mecca if we create it?
where should we have it?
Well,
we have to have it local.
Yeah, we have to move it out of Ted's basement because that's where it is right now.
Yeah, he said he doesn't want to move, so it's not like we can take over the place and make a sandwich shop in here.
Yeah, that might be a bit tough. But no, it's just one of the ideas that we've kicked. I've talked to him about, that I've kicked around in my head. Is like, and we talked about it before, I think, with the actual idea of a store. But I like the idea of like an actual like either cafe or bar, even a bar or restaurant kind of feel to it. And I would love to populate it with creature curation wall mounts.
Oh, absolutely. Those things are awesome.
That would be freaking awesome.
So I mean, there's plenty of empty retail space that in the area.
Just gonna snag one of those old James Way Kmart places.
Hello, fellow gamers. Jake Simmons. Hey, what's going on, Jake? Well, our friend who we cannot pronounce his name, while going to America from Portugal just for a gaming night isn't really easy. No, you'd have to make it a nerd vacation.
Well, that's another thing that was talked about that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, there are cafes where games are being played currently. I think there's even in Philly there's a tavern thing that people have reached out to us about. There's several different things. There's one where they actually just go to different places and run games, almost like the drunk version of Adventure League. and then there might actually be a gaming bar. But I think it'd be a lot of fun.
I've seen videos of a gaming bar online, but I don't think it was in Philly.
Yeah, it probably wasn't. There's a couple different ones. There was one I forget where it was. It might have even been in Ohio. I was like, hey, hon, want to go grab a bite to eat? Like, we can be there in 8 hours.
It like says a tavern. Start your adventure there.
Yeah, exactly. Raven, D&D food van with game tables.
Well, I had the concept for getting a minibus and calling it the Nerdarch, like traveling around like I want it to be a flying ship, but we don't have those willy-nilly everywhere, so I had to settle for the concept of a minibus.
So Joshua Brickley, one of our writers, he's like, I think you guys would be able to franchise it out in different areas. I'd be down. I'm just not willing to travel that far. Come on, man. Nice vacation on the East Coast. Hang out with some of your Nerdarchy buddies. It'll be a good time.
New Jersey's not really that cool by itself.
There's listen,
there's AC. Okay, you're growing up half hour, 45 minutes away from it. It's kind of lost its luster, but there's the shore.
Dude, we're nestled right in the center of two different historical locations for the country.
That's true.
Literally,
Pennsylvania and Philly aren't too far away.
Yeah, like you got Philadelphia, You know, they got like this cracked bell over there and stuff, and Betsy Ross' house, and all kinds of stuff that we ignore because it's like so close.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Like I've never even been to the Statue of Liberty, but like that's not really that far. And Washington D.C. isn't actually that far either.
No, it isn't.
So we got all kinds of stuff over here. So thinking of converting the Warforged feats from 3.5 to 5e. Ooh, that would be tough because they're not.
I think some of them might be able to go, but I would think at least half of them don't fit the 5th edition feel.
Well, like racial feats.
The problem with feats are like you need like 2 or 3 of them to make a 5th edition feat. Like one of them by themselves isn't enough generally.
Right.
Like, well, actually, like Heavy Armor Master would literally work for the Adamantium. You could just reflavor that one. Because that one gives you DR, and I think it gives you a bonus to strength, so it's not bad.
So would we say that the Warforged itself, it can take Heavy Armor Master without wearing heavy armor?
I would think so, yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be a decent reflavor.
And that would just simply be saying...
And let's face it, why wouldn't you want to wear heavy armor anyway?
Yeah, there's that. But it would be pretty cool just looking like you just got these plates on you and not necessarily wearing something.
Before I went and made anything, I would go to Keith Baker's website and blog and see what he's already made. Mm-hmm. Chances are, like he's got his own Warforged and stuff that he's already done. I don't know if they're out there. I have a copy of stuff, but I can't give it to you. Or I think Satine Warforged assassins show up to murder you if you do. I believe that was right in the NDA. Nerd Jammer sounds good. What is that in reference to? Is that the name of a cafe?
It's like Spelljammer.
Yeah.
I think.
I would imagine so.
Doug, no joke, running a game cafe had been a pipe dream for many years. I'm ready to man the counter. Forget the counter. You got to man some tables and run some games. There's a few in Cleveland and a ton in Austin as well from Doug. Yeah, I think it's a great idea, a place for people to go hang out and do their thing. Throw some funny shaped dice.
Just not against the patrons.
Maybe, it depends.
Could be a game. Dice Dodge.
So we're coming right up on the hour, and it's going to be that time, guys, where we have to say that thing that we say.
And we say it a lot.
Just once a day, a couple times a day. It just depends on the day. Really.
Oh, you got a Star Trek in the park.
That's what it says, and everything.
Oh, yeah, I'm a little confused by that, but
maybe they're LARPing.
Star Trek in the park, like playing a game in the park, or
Star Trek LARP.
Like, is it kind of like Shakespeare in the park? More clarification is needed.
Let's see if you can type it out before we end it. Yeah. Tick, 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 tick.
Time's a ticking.
But with that, guys, we got some videos to shoot. We got some things to do. I think I have a birthday party to invade at some point for my nephews. So we're going to wrap things up. So until next time, guys, stay nerdy.